The very first time I understood what a newspaper headline was all about and the shock value it could bring was back in 1952 or 1953 when I was about 9 or 10 years old. Everybody on my Bronx block, Dudley Avenue, had a newspaper in their hands, whether it be the Times, the Daily News, the Post, whatever. They all pertain to the latest headline. XGI becomes blonde beauty. Our rather quiet Bronx block became chaotic overnight. Reporters, police, and curious bystanders filled every inch of space. They were all there to see for themselves Christine Jorgensen, first transgender to become widely known in the United States. It brings to mind how very different things were back then and the drastic changes that have occurred since. Back then, everybody seemed stunned. I don't think my parents knew what a transgender meant, never mind explain it to us, their children. What made it even more difficult for my parents was that they had known Christine as George for many years. The family lived up the block and were staples in the neighborhood. The parents, lovely people, were originally from Denmark, he a cabinet maker and she a housewife. They had 2 children, a boy and a girl. Actually, I remember my mother remarking to my father a few times before this all happened that she wondered why she never saw George return after his stint in the army. Well, now she knew. By the second day, the reporters were really getting restless and were taking pictures of the neighborhood regulars to fill their reports. They even took a picture of myself and my friends one day looking out the window, entitling it, "Everybody is waiting for Christine." When she did arrive the following day, we all stood slack-jawed as she drove up in a beautiful limo and exited. How could this be George? She had long blonde hair, wore a beautiful suit and a mink stole, just like a movie star. The photographers couldn't get enough shots. The aftermath of all this was extremely difficult for that family. So many people condemned them, sent hate mail, and finally drove them out of the neighborhood. Seeing firsthand how much that family suffered makes it possible to understand better what we thought we could never understand. Who gets to judge? Well, this was my first introduction to the subject of newspaper headlines, and it's one I will never forget.